Have you ever walked into a room and felt like nobody noticed you were even there? Not because you did anything wrong, just invisible, like the air moved around you instead of because of you. You've watched other people walk in and somehow everyone straightens up a little. Nobody raises their voice around them. Nobody interrupts them. And you've wondered, quietly, more than once, what they have that you don't. You've replayed conversations in your head at 2 in the morning, wondering if you talked too much or too little, or said the wrong thing at the wrong moment. You've tried to be nicer, tried to be louder, tried to be smaller, and still felt like respect was something handed to other people, never to you. Maybe you've even studied them a little. The way they stand, the way they answer a question they clearly haven't rehearsed. You've tried to copy it, and it came out stiff, like a costume instead of a person, and you quietly gave up trying. So what is it really that makes some people command a room without saying a word, while the rest of us are still working up the courage to speak first, rehearsing a sentence that never quite comes out right? Think about the last time you admired someone instantly. Maybe it was a coworker who walked into a meeting 5 minutes late, calm, unbothered, and somehow nobody minded. Or a stranger who said no without a hint of guilt in their voice. Or a friend who let a joke fall flat and didn't rush to explain it or fix it or apologize for it. Think about the last time you admired someone instantly. Maybe it was a coworker who walked into a meeting 5 minutes late, calm, unbothered, and somehow nobody minded. Maybe it was a stranger who said no without a hint of guilt in their voice, or a friend who let a joke fall flat and didn't rush to explain it or fix it or apologize for it. You noticed. Everyone in the room noticed. And it wasn't their job title, their looks, or their money. It wasn't even confidence, not really, not the loud kind you've been told to fake in front of a mirror. It was something smaller than that, a habit, a pattern so quiet you almost missed it. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. In every room you walk into from now on, in every meeting, every text left unread, every conversation that used to feel like a test you were quietly failing. Psychologists have spent decades studying what actually earns respect in a room. Not fear, not status, but a set of small, repeatable behaviors your nervous system reads as safety and confidence at the same time, often before a single word is spoken. Here are 9 of them. The first is the pause. People who are respected don't rush to fill silence. They let a question sit for a second before answering, even when they already know the answer, even when the silence feels enormous to everyone else in the room. Research on conversational timing shows that a short, comfortable pause signals composure, and composure reads as authority, even when the words themselves are perfectly ordinary. The second is a slower voice. Not louder, slower. When you speak a little slower and let your pitch drop slightly at the end of a sentence instead of rising into a question, listeners subconsciously code you as certain of what you're saying, even if you're just as unsure as everyone else in the room, quietly hoping nobody asks a follow-up. The third is stillness. Respected people keep their hands still, their posture settled, their eyes steady. Fidgeting, tapping a pen, bouncing a knee, adjusting your shirt every few seconds, checking your phone that hasn't buzzed, signals to other people's nervous systems that you feel unsafe right now. And unsafe reads as unsure, even if what you're saying is completely correct. The fourth is listening with your eyes, not just your ears. Most people look away while someone else is talking, saving their real attention for when it's their turn to speak. People who earn respect do the opposite. They hold eye contact while listening and look away briefly, thoughtfully, while speaking. It flips the usual pattern, and it works because it tells the other person their words actually landed somewhere, instead of just filling airtime.
The fifth is the short no. You've probably noticed this one already. Someone declines a request in one sentence. No apology, no 3-paragraph explanation, and somehow nobody pushes back. Over-explaining doesn't make a no more acceptable to other people. It just tells everyone listening that you weren't sure you were allowed to say it in the first place. And people can feel that uncertainty even when the words sound firm. The sixth is using a person's name once in a real sentence. Not performatively, just naturally, the way you'd say it if you actually meant it. It's a small thing, almost nothing, but it tells someone's brain in a fraction of a second that they were actually seen, not just addressed like part of a crowd or a task on a list. The seventh is silence after a joke. People who chase laughter tend to laugh at their own joke first, checking the room for approval before anyone else reacts, or explaining the joke a little if the laugh doesn't come fast enough. People who are respected say the funny thing and just let it land, without checking anyone's face for permission, and without repeating the punchline if it doesn't.
The eighth is the plain apology. I was wrong. I'll fix it. Lands heavier than a long, anxious apology stacked with 5 qualifiers and a quiet defense of your intentions. Respect isn't built by being perfect or by proving you meant well. It's built by owning a mistake in one clean sentence and then actually moving forward instead of orbiting the guilt for the rest of the conversation. The ninth is knowing when to leave a conversation first, not rudely, just before it overstays itself and starts running on fumes, repeating things that were already said 10 minutes earlier. People remember how a conversation ended far more than how it started, and ending it while it's still good is one of the quietest, most reliable forms of self-respect there is. Here's the part that surprises most people. None of these 9 habits show up on any resume, and none of them require you to change a single fact about your life. They're not about status, they're about signal. The small, involuntary cues a nervous system reads before a single argument is made. None of these 9 habits require confidence you don't have yet. That's the part most advice gets backwards. It tells you to feel confident first and act calm second, as if calm were a reward for confidence instead of a path to it. The truth runs the other way. Your nervous system reads your own behavior as evidence about who you actually are, updating its guess about you in real time. Slow down your voice, and your body starts to believe you're safe. Hold still, and your mind starts to believe there's nothing here to fear. So maybe the people you've been quietly admiring for years were never born with something you simply weren't. They just practiced a handful of small, learnable behaviors long enough that the behaviors became instinct, invisible even to them, and the room responded to the instinct, not to some rare quality underneath it that you were never given a share of. You don't need to become a different person to be respected. You don't need a louder voice, a bigger presence, or a personality transplant you can't afford. You need to borrow 9 small habits, one at a time. Practice them until they stop feeling like a costume, and let your body slowly catch up to what you've already decided to practice. Respect was never something other people were handed at birth while you were quietly denied. It's something built. One paused sentence, one steady hand, one clean apology at a time. Starting the very next time you walk into a room and decide, just once, not to shrink to fit it. But here's the harder question, the one underneath all 9 of these habits. What happens when the person you can't seem to earn respect from is yourself? That might be the documentary you actually need next. If you saw yourself in even one of these 9 habits, the pause, the stillness, the short no, that's not a coincidence. It's a starting point. Try one this week, just one, and notice what shifts. And if this helped you see yourself a little more clearly, you know what to do next.